And they grow food and they try to feed some of their neighbors. And there were a group of children there, and I asked the kids, how do you like this? Do you have a snack in the school? Yeah, okay, yes, we do, but it's a bit expensive. And then I asked them, do you think that kids, whether they have money or not, should have a good mid-morning meal? They all said yes. Every kid, yes. Every school, absolutely. I thought, oh, that's exciting. Children are usually right about these things. They reminded me of a little kid named Sylvia, and you might have heard me talk about that before. In the days when I was the City of Toronto Children's Advocate, I asked the city and all the children in Toronto, what would they do if they're mayor for a day, or if they're the mayor, what would they do? And some said build more CN Tower, others said more parks and playground. One said, I would ask God for grocery money. I thought, whoa. Obviously, this kid have experienced poverty, experienced hunger, and every day she go to school, she should be focusing on learning and not on food. So for decades, my encounter with Sylvia and what she wrote stayed with me. And after all these years, stories like hers are still very common. It's even worse now. Food bank visits in the GTA have gone up 51% since 2023. 1 out of 3 of these users are children. And we have to do better. I'm proud to have established Toronto's school and students' food program when I was the counselor. And today the program serves 227,000 meals a day to kids across the city. But it leaves out 100,000 kids. They do not have access to a good, healthy mid-morning snacks. And that they're in 220 public schools. And some of those students are in cities' lowest income neighborhoods. Right now, we have schools that have the infrastructure. They've applied for funding last year, but they didn't get it because we didn't put in enough dollars. That's 8,000 students in low-income neighborhoods around the city. My motion today at the Executive Committee requests staff to report back this year on how we can provide food in schools to those 8,000 students starting in January of 2025. Not a year later, but January 2025. 8,000 more kids. And they will report back and how we could eventually get to a universal student food program. I'm determined to make it happen after all these years. Now is the time, because kids that are hungry cannot learn. And already the City of Toronto contribute $19 million, and the province of Ontario put in $9 million. The federal government recently said they are coming to the table in the 2024 budget. They said they want a universal student food program. I say, aha, this is the time. We want to partner with them. And with the cost of living on the rise, so many parents struggling to provide the children food at home, we need a universal student food program now more than ever. That's how we could build a more affordable city, make life more affordable for folks, and create a more caring city. I'm really pleased to be joined today by the CEO of Daily Bread Food Bank. I think all of you know Neil Hetherington. and he has many years of dealing with hunger in the GTA area. Neil wants to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Chow. As the CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank, every single day we are seeing more and more families coming to the food bank. We will be reporting very soon our new statistics, and the grim reality is that 1 in 10 Torontonians now uses a food bank. And every single month, we are adding between 12 and 14,000 new individuals who have never used a food bank before. They are coming for the first time. They're crossing the threshold of a doorway of a food bank and having to get the food that they need for their family. Knowing that 1/3 of those individuals having to make use of food charity is a child, I am delighted at this announcement. We have the choice in Toronto to say that we can wallow in the statistics and we can get disheartened by those statistics, or we can do something about it. And with leadership and fortitude, we're thrilled to stand behind the mayor as she announces a ambitious program to bring a universal meal program to schools all across the City of Toronto, so that every single child has the opportunity to be able to have a decent meal and be able to thrive in their community. And I just want to applaud on behalf of every volunteer of the Daily Bread Food Bank all across the city. I want to applaud the mayor for this initiative. And together we can start to reduce the number of individuals who are food insecure in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. We're open for questions of every kind. This is the executive committee meeting in 9:30. So, oh, by the way, I dug up from the archives an old letter written by the late Jack Layton. It's dated. It was written by Mr. Layton, and at that time I was a school trustee, in December 24th, 1990. I know some people celebrate holidays, roasting chestnuts, but this is a food programs for children, a school and community model, a proposal for feeding all students well in school. I thought, okay. And it's really quite, reminded me how long we've been fighting for a universal school program. This is the beginning of the City of Toronto working with the school board. He was the chair of the Board of Health and I was a school trustee, and it's the beginning of the program. We've never yet get to a stage that all kids will have decent food in school. So we'll get there soon enough. But on a different note, some of you may have questions about food, about any number of items on the executive committee.
Maybe we should just pick up right there. Why do you think that there hasn't been the political will to fund that program the way you have seen it funded over the last number of decades, since you wrote that letter?
Well, this one was a Jack Layton letter, but I was very much part of it because I was a school trustee, and this program required the school board and the City of Toronto working together. And why didn't we get it done? We didn't. I tried as a school. Oh, allow me. Thank you so much. When I became a city councillor, after being a school trustee, and when the city amalgamated, we took the City of Toronto, the old City of Toronto in old North York, and expanded it across the city, both Etobicoke and Scarborough. First time, right? That was when Mega City was created. And then a few years later, I became a member of Parliament. So I left City Hall. When I was in Member of Parliament, Jack Layton and I have consistently said in the House of Commons and during election, in the election platform, that we need to feed our kids better. No one disagreed with it. Everybody said, yes, kids need to have decent meals in school. But no one ever drilled down long enough to say how much it would be. The thing is that the program is pay what you can. A lot of parents pay, so it's not 100% subsidized. It's not 100% free. It is free if you want it to be, but if you want to pay a little, that's okay too. That's good too. And sometimes the schools also go and do extra fundraising. So I think it's very popular in schools and among parents, and everybody wants it. I just think that in the past, it hasn't been, the stars have not aligned. But now, the city, I'm willing, I think majority of councillors are excited because it's not the first time I talked about this. And I know the Board of Health in the City of Toronto is interested. I know the province of Ontario and the federal government are saying, hey, we want to contribute. So I think it's finally probably will be happening. We don't know how fast, but the sooner the better. It's been a long time.